with winds now at 155 and moving inland close to Port Charlotte.
This is new video just in now showing the power of Ian's vicious winds in Port Charlotte. That's where the peak wind gust there, 123 miles per hour.
So I've started this video several times and redone it because frankly I don't really know what to say other than, you know, it could have been a lot worse. So this is our boat, Magic Dragon. I am back here for the first time since Hurricane Ian, kind of a little solo mission for a week. Just kind of come down, survey the initial damage, start to get some stuff cleaned up down below so that way we can kind of re-continue down the refit path. Now obviously there are a lot of boats, a lot of people who ended off much worse than we did. So in the grand scheme of things, you know, we count ourselves pretty fortunate. But it's still more work that we weren't originally intending on doing. Flight kind of got in late. It's 11:11 right now. There was some pretty bad weather up by Chicago, but we eventually got down here. It's obviously pitch dark outside. There's the one light in the boatyard that didn't get blown over is right next to our boat. So you can see a little bit, you know, you're not gonna be able to do a bunch of really detailed inspection at night. From what I've seen so far, it doesn't look too bad. I've seen a few little things on the outside here and there, but nothing that like, you know, makes my heart skip a beat. I did bring the handy dandy headlamp and we're gonna use this to see because obviously it wouldn't be smart to just plug the boat right back in. So let's go take a quick look around, see kind of the state of the boat at the moment, and then of course we'll do like a much more detailed look through when we have light out. Oh, so let's see. Oops. Cushions and everything are like all over the place. This guy that we almost got rid of before we left, I think caused a lot of the damage to the countertop. Got, you know, just the fan tossed around. These little guys were in their windows, now they're not. Yeah, you know, and then just some stuff like this. Like this guy started to come out. This is the space that I'm going to be devoting time to tonight. The batteries should be on their shelf back there, and then they had to disconnect the solar to set the boat back up because they had to take the hardtop off. And then, you know, stuff like here we have the muffler basically is kind of out of its place. Obviously I got some torque on the exhaust hose, but this is what I'm gonna be spending most of my time on tonight, just putting this stuff back in. Fill you in tomorrow on how it goes, but all things considered, it could be much, much, much worse. So it is the next day. We are still at the boat and we're really just kind of getting ready to go from the stern all the way to the bow, put this stuff away, and then we're gonna kind of inspect inch by inch the entire boat because we really have to see what is the extent of what happened. It's just gonna be a tedious, long, probably frustrating day, but it's gotta be done. So let's go do it. Now that we have some light, we can kind of show everything. It's not actually as bad as I originally thought. You know, we got drawers out, we got cushions in the wrong place. Don't mind any of that. It's my little makeshift bed at the moment. Here in the V-berth. Up here, mostly everything was kind of already out of the way. Fortunately, so the boat fell on its port side, which is that direction as we're standing here. So stuff fell from the starboard side to the port side. Everything here is kind of already stored on the port side. So everything just kind of stayed over there, which was good. Here in the salon / galley is where most of the stuff kind of fell, although good news, Kirstin's favorite shop vac appears to be in one shape. She's got stuff everywhere. Already put a lot of this stuff kind of back here on the shelf. All of this stuff, all of this, all of that was just all over here. Coming over here, most of our stuff was already over here being stored. So it's still over there, which is not so bad, but we just have a lot of stuff to look at because as you can see here, let's see if it'll show, the cabinets all separate. You can see it's lined up here, but by the time we get down here, it's out of alignment. You can see here stuff at the cabinet lifted up and then stuff under it. So we gotta clean all this, gotta clean all of that stuff out, and figure out how to get the cabinet back down on the floor. And it really looks like it's kind of high pointed because right back in there it's still on the floor, but then you get over here, it's like a big gap. Just gotta get everything cleaned up, start taking inventory. But I think before that, we're gonna take a walk around the yard because our boat got moved from where it was when they were picking stuff up, so we're in a different spot now. So we gotta go find our dinghy and the dinghy motor. Let's go do that. Yeah. I will say, so I have a gimbal. Yeah. Found it. Found our dinghy. It's not in great shape. We'll have to see if we can salvage it, but it is what it is, right? Again, all things considered, we did not come out that bad in the hurricane, so we'll deal with it. So we keep saying that all things considered, I think we were kind of fortunate, and this is unfortunately why. Bunch of masts just broken, and these were ripped off in the storm. I mean, it's incredible. Like, you know, this is pretty thick, pretty sturdy stuff, and it all came down. And these are all really expensive to fix. Thankfully, our rig survived and stayed up. So, behind this cover is a chain plate. We've started taking it off. Gotta get it the rest of the way off so that way we can see what's back there. Hopefully nothing too crazy. There we go. Actually looks pretty good. No separation, no weeping, not bent. All told, that's a big, big positive. This is our steering quadrant. Just checking all the pins. All the lines look good, checking to make sure there's no cracks where the support structure is glassed into the hull. That all looks just fine. I don't see anything too concerning in there, which is good. Okay, so I've been crawling around the inside of the boat for a while, but as you can see, the sun is starting to go down, so need to kind of do an outdoor inspection because some of the running rigging is shredded, just a bunch of stuff and knots. I don't know if you can see those. They're like all furry. Those definitely have to be replaced. On this side, to get the crane around, they obviously had to disconnect the lifelines. And the biggest thing right now is, so if you can see right here, we have kind of two stays that are wrapped around each other because the second stay goes into that chain plate right there. Gonna have to reconnect that. I'll probably get a rigger to come look at it just to be on the safe side. And here you can see they disconnected the lifelines. Let's go down below and look at stuff from the ground. Okay, so now we're down at the bottom of the boat. Taken a one walk around already, and it's not as good as I hoped. Kind of a couple things that are bumming me out a little bit. Everything here looks good. The seam here, no cracks on the skeg, no cracks up and down the skeg. Rudder looks fine. Prop, now I'm gonna draw a blank. The prop looks fine. The prop rod, I guess, also looks fine. This is the starboard side of the boat, and it looks just like it's supposed to. Turn the corner here, it's where it gets a little bit of a bummer. Start down here at the keel. We do have a bit of a crack. So, I'm gonna have to fix that. I believe basically the way to fix that is we gotta grind that out, epoxy it, lay some more fiberglass, fair it out, and go from there. I don't think it's too terribly complicated of work, but it is a bummer. And then here's the even bigger bummer. These are where the old stands used to be. You can see the spot where the old pad was. So that stand, you can see where it scraped across. That stand scraped across and it got the boat landed on it. So we do have a crack. Crack is not great. So, starboard side, let me turn this off. This thing, it's pretty loud, wait for it. 3, starboard side, looks fine. I think the crack is right about here. Here being like right at the joint of this countertop. So I'm a little concerned about what I'm going to find back there. This bulkhead, the middle one, looks fine. This guy here, at least on the starboard side, is attached. Have to get through back there. But slow progress, slow progress. Hey, good morning. We are back. It is, I don't know, day 3 or so since being down here. We're slowly making our way inch by inch through the boat. So far, we've covered the aft cabin. We've covered the starboard side of the salon and nav station. We've hit the V-berth, the aft head. All of that looks fine. We've been able to get to every chain plate in those areas. All the bulkheads, they're all tabbed. There's no cracks, there's no separations, there's no delamination. So all that looks good. We have a crack in the hull. I'm confident we can fix that ourselves. We have the port side of the galley and salon to get to today. Anyway, that's what I've got for this morning. So sometimes the prior owner leaves nice little gifts. Brand new emaciator pump. To put it delicately, you put this behind the plumbing in your toilet and it like food blends all this stuff. It goes through the lines so that way it can pass through. Anyway, I was gonna have to buy one of these, but this is brand new, never been opened. Done with inspecting this settee. Opened up these cabinets. Opened up here, there is a little inspection hole for a chain plate. Open up this cabinet. All of this looks good. No separation from the floor, no cracks or delamination in the tabs that the chain plates go to. Chain plates themselves mostly look fine. This one here, a little bit of weeping rust. So that means it needs resealed at the deck, but more good news. So, knock on wood, that it's really just the cabinets that got messed up. So, yeah, you know, yesterday it was tough finding that crack. That was not fun. It kind of got the pit in your stomach a little bit, but if that's the worst thing that happens here, I think we're okay with that. We can fix that, and we can get back on our plan. So, earlier today, we had a fiberglass person come by, look at the crack in the hull. He said $3 to $5 grand for him to fix it. I think we'll probably fix it on our own, but free advice that he gave us was there's another hurricane, tropical storm, but possibly turning into a hurricane, coming to Florida. It's gonna land on the East Coast this time, like over north of Miami, but we're gonna get lots and lots of rain here. So that crack, he said, go get some sort of tape. He actually said duct tape, which is what I got here, but I'm gonna try this flex tape over that crack, prevent as much water ingress as possible, because if water seeps into there and gets through all the layers, then you're gonna have to grind out even more than you would have had to previously. So, flex tape first. If that doesn't work, Gorilla Tape. The main purpose of this trip was always to go through the boat, you know, inch by inch. We talked about that earlier, and get eyes on everything, see exactly what was wrong with it after Hurricane Ian. And that goal has been met. The stretch goal was to get these cabinets back into place. So close to getting this guy. Not quite done with that. So the reason why we're okay, at least I'm okay right now, with not have gotten the cabinets perfectly back into place, really comes down to these guys. So these stands, right, they put pressure on the hull in basically like a 1 foot square space. So they put pressure on the boat in very little areas, whereas when you're in the water, the entire hull is kind of cradled by, you know, the hydro pressure, the water, all that sort of stuff. And so these guys are kind of torquing the hull very little bit, and the cabinets are only off a very little bit. So I'm thinking, my theory right now is that we might wait to affix the cabinets until we're put back in the water, because maybe that cradle will get it back. Yeah, so that's all we've got. It's been a really, really good trip. Didn't quite get everything done, but it's okay. So heading back, got some life stuff to take care of. We will be back in just a couple days, just a few days, to get back to work, to get grinding out that crack. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah, we're getting close.